introduce our guest today, Stewart Dell, who has written an incredible book based on true events in his own life. And Stewart, I remind you again, you got to get close to the microphone, or else nobody's going to hear you.
Slide in here.
Yeah, slide in, get close, get comfortable.
Get comfy. Hi, Stewart.
Hi, Stewart.
Hey, guys.
First of all, tell us where you're from.
I was born in Los Angeles.
Okay.
But live in Boquete, Panama.
Yes.
Right on.
All right.
Yes.
So, and you've been here for about 2 years, I heard you say?
2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So why don't we just jump right into it? All right.
Okay.
Jump.
Jump. So what is this incredible book about?
Well, the title is Lolita Logic, Sex Lies and How a World Famous Teenage Porn Queen and I Destroyed Porn Almost.
Almost.
Yes.
So you were involved with a teenage porn star.
Right.
Okay. And you almost took down the porn industry.
That's right.
All right. Wow.
Well,
That's about as
tell us
juicy as
more.
it gets.
Yes, please. Yes.
Doesn't get any more juicy than that, does it?
Yeah.
Well, I met the porn queen.
Okay.
You gotta get closer. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I
You're
met
right.
the porn queen in 1985.
Okay.
I cannot name her
Right.
except in the book.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't.
So the name of the porn queen is in the book,
Yes.
but we just can't say it today.
I can't say.
You can't say it.
Right.
But one of us could probably say it. I lived in Los Angeles then, and I remember the scandal firsthand. I had no idea you were involved, of course, but I remember when it happened, and it was huge.
Yes.
So Patrick, do you want to take a guess?
My guess is this is something to do with Traci Lords, one of the most famous
Traci Lord.
porn queens ever.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Cannot confirm or
deny.
Okay.
Right. But can I say, would you like to say what happened? Or
Sure. I met her at a casting I was doing for a Japanese travel show.
mm-hmm.
And she came to me under the name of Christy Elizabeth. She did a fantastic reading, and
Okay, what was your position?
I was casting it for my friend.
Casting director?
I was casting it for my friend
Okay.
in Japan.
Oh.
So
Casting associate would be a good term.
Your friend was in
Yeah.
Japan and you were doing it for him.
Right,
Ah.
right. So it was for a series of travel shows that was going to be aired in hotels. And I met her just by chance. She came to me under a different name.
Was she like in that world then?
Oh, yes.
Deep in that world?
She had been in the porn business for 3 years
Oh.
when I met her.
Oh, wow.
And she lied to me about who she was, and she lied to me about her age.
And everyone else.
And the whole world. We went to dinner that night, and she produced a driver's license that said she was 23 years old, and everybody in that business knew her and knew that she was 23 years old. So we got together, we started dating, and the producer in Japan, I sent him a copy of the videos, and he said, "Wow, that looks a lot like..."
Traci Lords.
Right. I just said that.
No, I said it.
Yeah, right. And I said, and I just found out, she had just told me that she was, that's who she was. And so I apologized to him. I said, we can't have a porn star in our travel series.
Did you know who it was when she said her name?
No, I had actually worked in porn as a teenager for my father. I had a very, very screwed up life. Where I worked from when I was 15 to 18 as a technician for my father, and he produced. This was before XXX was legalized, so it was all soft, what they call softcore porn.
Right.
And my friend in Japan said, this is who this person is. And I said, well, we can't have her in the show. And cast. But then he suggested that she come to Japan to produce a porn with him. She didn't want to do it. She was trying to get out of the business at that point. That's why she came to this casting show, or casting.
So she
session.
was 3 years in the porn industry, and she was famous.
Oh, very famous.
But you didn't realize who it was
No,
at the time.
when I was in porn, I just built this phobia against it. I hated it, and so I didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
And so a week.
Okay, I'm just trying to get the story here. So, you cast her in this thing. You realize that she's a porn star, and you really don't want her to be in this
Right.
Japanese.
It would not be appropriate.
Would not be appropriate.
Yeah.
Even though they wouldn't know in Japan.
They would. She
Oh,
was
they
very
would?
Famous in
Oh, okay. Oh, she was famous in Japan. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear that it's a
Famous
very
around
big
the
thing
world.
over there anyways.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. And so she accepted the offer, went to Japan, and made this porn movie with him.
Oh.
And I went with her.
You were a boyfriend at the time?
I was her boyfriend.
Was it weird, like, watching this
Very
happen
weird. It
with
was
your girlfriend?
Yes, it was very strange.
Was it uncomfortable?
It was very uncomfortable, and I go into that in the book. You know,
Sure.
how it felt. I described the anxiety that I felt being on the set with her, and I avoided it. I really just avoided it. I drank a lot to avoid dealing with it.
And that's a good way to avoid things.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I was also and I didn't know it at the time, but I was a sex and love addict, which I have spent 30 years going to co-step programs, going to therapy to try to understand and to deal with.
Right.
And that is something that is, once you understand it, it's like any addiction. You,
Okay, I understand sex addict, but you said sex and love addict.
right. I started.
What does that mean exactly?
Well-
I mean, love is a good thing, right? So if you're like,
You ever hear Robert Palmer? You might as well face it, you're addicted to love.
Well, I started was a love addict from when I was 6 years old. My older sister used to play this game with me called marriage, where she would marry me off to a neighborhood girl, and we would have a wedding ceremony, and we'd go into the back of the family station wagon to kiss at 6 years old.
how many times have you been married, Stewart?
Officially and unofficially.
I actually have been married 5 times. So
5 times.
yes, but it was something that I learned to use as a distraction. My father was really a sociopath. He was a cop,
Yeah.
and he was the type of person that you just couldn't trust, and which was very apparent getting his teenage son to work in porn.
Yeah, cops making softcore underground porn movies. I don't know. How can you trust
15
that?
years old.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you should write a book.
Yeah, really, man.
Oh, you did. Never mind.
By the way, the book is on my laptop there, so there's the cover.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So she did that movie, and at the time I was in the international film distribution business. That's what I did for a living. I licensed films overseas, and so when we got back from Japan, she didn't want to do any more porn.
Right.
And she said, well, will you help me sell this? And I didn't know anybody at porn at the time. So
Sell what?
her
That
movie that
the
she
Japanese
did,
movie.
she got the
Okay.
U.S. rights to it.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And so I went to all the major distributors, and none of them would pick it up for the advance that she wanted. She wanted a $20,000 advance.
Okay.
So we met through my father, a guy who was just starting a porn distribution company,
Right.
and he agreed to pay her the $20,000 if she made one more porn for him.
Wow.
And so she couldn't turn it down. She had just gone through a breakup with a boyfriend who took all her money, and so she was, she had no choice. In her mind, she had no choice.
Right.
So we worked with this guy, and I actually produced a porn with her,
Okay.
which was very, very
Pero es
weird.
que antes
But
tenía
so the guy, the distributor, paid her $20,000 per picture, per X-rated movie,
Oh.
and which was the biggest advance that industry had seen. So she
So she made more than one. for you.
made two.
Two.
And then we were at the Adult Video Awards.
Right.
She was nominated for an award. And when we were at the Adult Video Awards, she was approached by this French guy, and he had told her that he wanted to produce a film with her in France.
Yeah.
And remember, I still thought she was 23 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
But her real age was 17 going on 18.
At that point in time,
At
right
that
then.
point in time.
So that means she started in the business when she was like
When she
15?
was 15.
Wow.
Felony time, boys.
Yeah,
Wow.
She's an amazingly intelligent person. Clever. She fooled everyone. She fooled
Okay,
everybody.
so she actually fooled them. They didn't know. They
No.
didn't. Oh, they didn't know.
Nobody
Wow.
knew how old she was.
Until
Until we got to France.
She got her high school diploma.
We got to France, and she announced to me on her 18th birthday that she was 18 years old,
Wow.
just outside of Cannes.
She's like, you have too many candles on that cake.
yeah, wow.
So she made this movie in France, and it just so happens that the movie was being produced 2 days after her 18th birthday.
So that was legit then.
That was a legit film.
Because that's how the French like to do things. They love to follow the law.
The law, they're a law-abiding
Law-abiding
society.
country.
Yes, indeed. Especially when it comes to like sex. And so.
Right.
So when I found out her true age, I was extremely upset.
Yeah,
I had known, I had been sleeping with her, a minor. I had made a porn movie with her, a minor, and
And how old were you at the time?
I was 31.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
A very young 31.
Uh-huh.
So, but I had met her mother a week before we left for France, and her mother asked me on the side. She pled with me. She said, "You've got to help her. You've got to help her get out of the business." So I was really drunk one day, and I called because she had agreed to do this other French movie. I didn't want her to do that movie. I wanted her out of the business. So I called the FBI.
You dropped the dime.
I dropped the dime on her.
Oh, get closer to that mic, buddy.
And
Because this is getting interesting.
so we left. The FBI didn't show up.
They didn't show up?
They didn't show up. I called the FBI and the local police department and reported her, but they didn't show up. Turns out that they had been investigating her for some time.
Oh.
And so we went to France. She told me her true age. She made another X-rated movie, and little did I know that that was her only legal movie, that one that she made in France.
Right.
So when we got back to the States, the FBI came to our house the day we got back. Not arrested her, but took her in for questioning. And I believe that the reason they didn't do anything to me was because I had reported her.
Right.
So she decided that she was going to testify against the porn producers. I was one of the porn producers.
She testified against you?
She didn't.
Okay.
She decided at the last minute that she wasn't going to testify. She got a great attorney.
Okay, wait. Is this how you plan to take down the porn industry?
Yes.
This is it, with her testifying that she was acting in porn movies underage.
That's right.
But it's a little tricky because she was the one who tricked them
Exactly.
into believing that she was older.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's where that's where the rub comes in.
Yeah.
Because she decided that she was not going to testify against any of the producers.
No.
And they thought, the producers thought, that I had masterminded all this. They thought that I had known her from when I owned a roller skate store in Hermosa Beach. And one of them came after me, beat the hell out of me, and told me that he wanted that French movie. He wanted it for himself.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't give it to him. She kept it for herself.
She wanted it, the guy wanted it to like watch or like to sell or
To sell.
To
To
sell.
sell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The same guy.
She had the
that-
rights,
money.
like the American rights
She
to
had the American rights.
Yeah.
And so they, the FBI they were really angry that she wouldn't testify.
Yeah.
And the head of one of the big porn distributors, I had a meeting with him, and he questioned me. He thought, just trying to make sure that I wasn't the guy, that I didn't actually mastermind all this.
Right.
And I hadn't. And,
Right.
And I explained to him exactly what happened, how it went down. And she changed her persona from one who was a porn actress to a victim. So she became the victim to all
Right.
these people, and she started doing shows. She was on the David Letterman show, and told everyone she was the victim. And but through this, I have to say though that I was in love with her.
Right.
Okay.
This is the only reason that I
Is that old love addiction kicking in, or you were really?
It was
Yeah.
love addiction.
But she was gorgeous. I mean, she was a very beautiful woman.
Yes.
Probably
Yeah.
still is a very beautiful woman.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
it would
she
be
was.
hard to see how you could.
All right, let me back up just a second, because this is a fascinating story of love and betrayal.
Yeah.
Underage porn acting. But you said that her mom approached you and that she herself wanted to get out of the industry.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay, that's what you said.
That's
She
what
said,
she
but
told
you
me.
don't necessarily believe that.
I don't believe that she did. I think she knew
okay.
that she was going to be doing this one last movie after she turned 18.
Okay, but one last movie means that she's planning on doing something else.
She owned that last movie. She was the only one that could make money on it. So I helped her negotiate a deal for a big fat advance for that
Right.
movie. And she was, at that point, very wealthy, and kept getting royalties for that movie for years and years.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was her partner, but I was never paid any of those royalties.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Wow!
So
Wow.
during this period was when I realized that I needed help with therapy. I worked with a therapist.
Right.
I started going to 12-step meetings and working the fourth step, making a fearless moral inventory of myself.
Okay, was this program for the sex and the love, or the
There's actually SLA, Sex and Love Anonymous.
anonymous?
Right, and I attended those meetings, but I also attended any 12-step meeting I could go to.
Right.
You know, it's all about getting to understand why I was that person, how I became that person.
Sure.
And you know, through this, I didn't realize this until I was 17, but I had been molested as an infant
Oh my God.
Man.
by an older cousin.
Wow.
And I stuttered until I was 8 years old, and that was what was the basis of my addiction, was this fear and the guilt that I carried for
Okay.
7 years over being molested.
Wow.
And I didn't even know about it. I didn't remember it because I was around 4 years old.
Yeah.
But until the same cousin tried to molest me again when I was 17.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I then remembered the molestation as an infant.
Okay.
Wow.
And
Are there enough 12-step programs for you out
Yeah,
there?
really.
I have a feeling like
I
you need like crossover 12-step
Oh,
programs.
yeah, I did. I went to Sex and Love Anonymous. I
Yeah.
went to Alcoholics Anonymous. I
Right.
still go to meetings weekly online. I go to a
Because you were like betrayed by your own family, you know. Just
Yeah.
is there a program for that? I don't know.
Probably. Well, and it's true that, you know, when things happen when you're a little kid, things happen to you, you often think it's your fault. You've caused
Yes.
it. You know?
Absolutely.
Children think it's their fault.
Absolutely.
Mommy and daddy's getting a divorce. It's my fault.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest, yeah.
Yeah.
And I carried a lot of guilt
Oh, I
for many
betcha.
years,
Yeah.
and it was the reason I stuttered,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the reason that I got into so many dysfunctional relationships.
Right.
Because I didn't understand love. I didn't understand love. I didn't understand what it was really like to be in love.
Uh-huh.
It was a
Well, I've
was a
had
crutch.
dysfunctional relationships too, but I've had a pretty normal upbringing, so I'm not so sure.
Not me. I got lucky.
You got
I
lucky.
got lucky.
Yes, you
Lucky
did.
in love.
Yeah. Hi, Gabrielle. I love you.
Yeah, and Gabrielle, thank you so much. Gabrielle was a member of the Memoir Writers Group
Mhm.
that I was a member of, and she helped me tremendously with the book. Thank you, Gabby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And now, well, quickly, because there's so much in your book. I mean, there's a car chase, right?
Right?
Yeah, there's so much exciting and crazy cool stuff.
Right.
But I had a question. What drew you to Boquete?
Well, I'll
You call
tell
that
you,
a change of pace?
It's like,
if you've ever been to Boquete, it's like a paradise here. It really is. I mean, there's a lot of gringos here.
See?
It's a beautiful mountain town where the temperature never gets higher than 76 degrees and never lower than 65 degrees.
yeah.
And and I'm a cyclist, and I love cycling these mountains. And I'm also an equine endurance rider. I ride equine endurance horses.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so those are my two passions, and I love doing that here. It's the Panamanian people are unlike anywhere I've been in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
I've traveled the world.
Yeah.
When I was in international sales, I traveled the world for years, and Panamanian people are so beautiful, and not just physically, but emotionally, and their passion for life is just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a
How long did you say you've been here?
2.5 years.
Okay.
Well, you've met some. I know there's two sides to every story.
Oh, they're great. The Panamanian people are great.
They're chill
Yeah,
folk,
great.
you know,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
chill.
Right. So I just loved it here, and I stayed.
Yeah, cool.
Right.
No, good for you, good for us, you know.
So how long have you been writing this book?
Well, actually, the book started with my fourth step. making a more fearless moral inventory of myself. And I wrote that for almost 30 years. I was writing, updating, and I realized at one point that, darn, this should be a book.
Yeah.
So I took all of my notes that I accumulated over the years and started writing the book. I wrote the book 2 years ago. I put it down and just walked away from it for a while. And then I got approached by a company that produced the Tiger King.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, Tiger
Netflix.
King,
Yeah, that wacky dude. Yeah. With the mullet.
So they optioned the right to my book.
Cool.
So I went about rewriting it and making it, with the help of my memoir group, making it into something that was a sellable product.
Wow, very
So
nice.
does that mean that there may be a documentary in the future?
There is a documentary being made right now, which by contract I can't name.
Okay.
But it's about the same subject, and they flew a crew down here from New York to interview me, and I'm a primary character in that series.
Oh man,
That series is going to be released by the end of this year.
Oh, cool. Wow, keep an
nice.
eye out for that, man.
Yeah.
Right.
When it does drop, then can you talk about it?
No,
can.
I can't use the name in any type of promotion at all.
Wow.
Do you have any relations with that person right now?
No,
No.
not at all. No.
Okay.
Not friendly, not unfriendly, or
I haven't spoken to her since the last day in 1988.
long time. Would you want to?
I would actually really like to. I would really like to talk to her about where I've come, how I've grown, and
Right.
the culpability that I feel somewhat responsible for that, because I was a love addict and a
Right.
sex addict, and that got me into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And
Addictions often will get people into a whole
Yes,
lot of
they
trouble.
will.
Indeed.
They will. So this company optioned the rights to a limited series based on my book. So this series that's coming out this year is not.
That's a different thing.
That's a different thing.
Okay.
So will be I don't know when that will take place.
Is that a Netflix series? Or can you say? Or
I can't say.
Okay.
Can't say.
I can't
Can you
say.
nod?
Cover the lens. Cover the
All
lenses.
right. Just, I've had this question in my head since we talked about the movies, these porn films. Just how long it was like one of these movies? I mean, because a normal movie is like an hour and a half usually.
Yeah, they're 90 minutes.
Is that what they are? Yeah.
And
Wow.
they are usually shot. My dad, when he shot his movies, he would rent the equipment on Friday, so he didn't have to pay for the weekend. So he'd make them on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and return the equipment on Monday and pay a one-day rate.
Wow.
And that's I found out in the 80s when I produced the film with this woman that they do the same thing. It's the same deal, but it's all on video. Back when I was working in it in the late 60s, it was film.
Yeah.
And
16 millimeter, 35.
Right?
Like black and white?
No.
Oh, that's the 50s.
Did you have Buster Keaton in any of your pornos?
Right. So
Nowadays they just use cell phones or something probably.
now it's the whole porn industry has become so prevalent, such a part of society,
Yeah.
and so available that
Huh.
I mean there are. I forget the number, but it's somewhere in the billions of dollars a year.
Wow.
For online porn.
I'm sure it is.
Holy
Something like
smokes.
that.
It's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. I mean, it's bigger than any other online business.
Well, no wonder people get sucked into it. Would you say that this person you can't mention might have had slight addiction to money or fame?
Well, yeah, I
Possibly?
I really couldn't speculate on that. She
I mean, some people
she
do.
was extremely intelligent
Right.
and manipulative, and she understood how the world worked. Even at that age, she was in many ways more mature than I was.
Wow. Closer.
Yeah, she was, in many ways, she was more mature than I was.
But you don't know what caused her to get involved in the first place when she was 15 years old.
I didn't know her then.
Yeah.
And there's
15 is so young.
yeah, and
Wow.
you know there are
Did she look older? Because I'm having a hard time
Well,
believing
yeah.
that all these producers would not question
Yes,
a 15-year-old.
yeah,
So did the FBI.
Yeah.
well, people knew, but nobody. It was like a wink and a nod thing.
Oh yeah. Back then.
Yeah, and it was something that she did for the money.
Yeah.
She did it for the fame, and she is at this point she is the only X-rated star who has gone on to make major
Legit
films.
films.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she when just before we broke up, she got the part with Johnny Depp in Cry Baby,
Oh wow.
and
So is she still an actress to this day?
She still is. Yes. I
Wow.
believe.
Still in the industry.
Yeah.
Even though you haven't spoken to this person in 30 odd years, plus years, do you have any contacts or anybody or any insight into what kind of a person she is today? Or?
Not at all.
Okay, well that's fair. I mean, why would you want to?
Yeah. I mean that was
I was just curious.
a long
Well,
time ago.
We've had other authors on the book, and I know that you love, in general, authors to promote your book. So why don't you tell us how somebody who would love to read this fascinating story of your life could get their hands on this book?
Well, you can go to just about every online distributor, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Apple Books. It's on all of the platforms.
It's on all those
Is it on the
platforms.
Amazon?
Yes.
Okay.
Amazon. And what's the title of the book?
It's
again?
called Lolita Logic,
Mhm.
Sex, Lies, and How a World Famous Teenage Porn Queen and I Destroyed Porn, almost.
You need a longer title.
Almost. Yeah.
The funny thing
You got to
is,
get people's attention with the title.
the funny thing is, there's a person at this table that came up with that name.
Ah.
There is.
Yes.
Well, helped a little.
Sure.
We kibitz.
Well, Lolita is a great,
Yeah.
great part of the title because that was a great book and movie. Also.
Yeah, and it's definitely relatable,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're my age.
Well,
Our age.
Well, Chris has no idea what we're talking about.
I don't.
You know what Lolita? No.
Lolita.
Okay.
Oh,
Isn't that
man.
hot sauce?
No, that's
Yes,
Cholula.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
you're thinking
was a
Cholula.
very famous book and actually a couple of movies called Lolita.
Oh.
And they were
Porno movies.
No,
No.
they're
No.
legitimate.
No.
In fact, a friend of mine's daughter is in the remake of Lolita with Jeremy Irons.
Oh,
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
yeah. I remember that first.
The first one was
great English actor. I can't remember his name. Who was that?
George Sands.
James somebody? James?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Somebody.
Well, we'll have to dial it up later.
Yeah.
Actually, the original 50s version is quite a good movie.
It is a good movie.
I liked it better than the second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I do too.
Google it and somebody let us know
Yeah.
on the
Right
website.
after you buy a copy of Stewart Dell's book, Lolita Logic.
And I also
Yeah.
want to mention I brought
His favorite
Panama
coffee.
Joe coffee here because this is the best coffee in Panama,
The funny thing is,
in my opinion.
you can talk about your life in the porn industry, nobody will bat an eye. You talk about coffee, you're going to start an argument.
Fighting words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Them's fighting words right there.
What?
You're like, this is my favorite coffee. Who the heck are you to tell me about your favorite coffee?
These guys aren't sponsoring me or anything.
Yeah, I know.
They're just
Okay.
fantastic.
That's
coffee.
you just
James
love that.
Mason.
James Mason.
James Mason.
I got the
right.
James right. Yeah.
Yes, very
James
good.
Mason.
Very good.
Yes.
And who was the actress who played Lolita?
Shelley Winters.
No.
No, that would be the
mother.
mom.
Ah,
yeah.
The mother was
Yeah.
Shelley
Let me
Winters.
open
I
this.
think
up.
Sue Lyon was in a version of it.
Was it? It was black and white.
It was.
It was
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah.
Actually, Shelley Winters was pretty hot when she was young.
She was.
Yeah.
She was.
She
Yeah.
was.
But then she, in the movie where she has to swim, and she's like,
The Poseidon Adventure.
Poseidon Adventure.
I met her.
Sue Lyon. Sue Lyon.
Sue Lyon. Yeah.
Lions,
I met Shelley Winters a little later in her life.
Oh, yeah?
She's quite the character.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh,
She
gosh,
stopped dressing up. You know, she'd wear a baseball hat and look as rugged as you
That's
could
what
be.
people say about you, Patrick. You just stopped
I
caring.
just stopped caring. It's either I stopped caring or I'm living the dream
Living the dream.
and not
Yeah.
caring.
and not caring.
Jubilado.
So
Living the jubilado
So I
dream.
jubilado.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, baby.
Oh man, Stewart, it's fascinating, man. I'm so
Fascinating
glad you could
story.
join us. And
Thank you for having
man,
me.
I hope the sales are going through the roof for you, man. Because
They're doing quite well.
excellent, excellent.
And
Yeah.
I have, once the series comes out that I can't name, there will be a big promotional push.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll have to have you on again.
Yeah, you gotta come back when you can start naming stuff. Like, I can't name this. I can't tell you about this. Here's an interesting thing that I can't tell you about.
When did
Oh,
you
there's
know it?
another
When did
great
you know
fact.
it? Yeah. Oh man.
So, Stuart, you're here now in Boquete. What are your just overall plans, desires?
I plan to retire here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going on 70 next year. So.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait.
Really?
What?
Yep.
Wow.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Dude,
Yeah.
does he look 70 to you?
It's like late 50s.
Yeah, man.
I know he looks good.
Who looks older, him or me? I have seen your headshot when you were a younger man. You were like stunning handsome. You had that Hollywood movie star look, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you trying to be an actor too?
I did try to be an actor for a little while.
Yeah.
My father was an actor
And a cop.
and a cop
And a porn producer.
and a
porn producer.
sociopath.
Sociopath.
And I just did not like acting. I have another book that I'm working on right now. It's called Dorman, Life and Crimes at Chippendales.
Oh, wow.
So,
You were at Chippendale.
yes, I was at Chippendales. So
Oh, wow.
the plot thickens.
Wow.
Good thing.
Part
you-
two.